Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and you can call me Court. There's a squirrel antagonizing my dog. So in the season of Thanksgiving, I've decided that I'm going to do a gratitude video. Here we are. This is... Hey! Good boy. YouTube meet Marlo, Marlo meet YouTube. Excuse you! Just relax. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I have decided to do a little gratitude video and share some tips and tricks on how I practice gratitude every single day. I am terrible with gratitude journaling and affirmations. I just can't do it. Like after day 2 or 3, I get super bored. Like I end up writing the same thing over and over. Like I'm grateful for food and shelter and my bed and coffee, and those are all true, but I just have a hard time like putting an emotional attachment to that, you know? Gratitude journals really don't work for me. So these are some things that I do instead. So if that sounds like you, I am gonna let you in on all the ways that I got over that. Now, I consider myself a glass half full kind of a gal, if you know what I mean. I always try to see the silver lining in every single situation, but I am a human being and sometimes I get frustrated and I definitely complain about a lot of things. I really had to put a lot of effort into literally changing my mind about how I thought about things and how things affected me. Let's get into it. Are you done? So these are things that I do to turn negatives into positives and stay grateful. The first thing being self-correction. What I mean by this is self-correcting toxic thoughts. So if I'm like standing in the mirror and I'm looking at myself and like, ugh, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I hate how my hair looks, why do I have a double chin? All those terrible negative things. I started getting into the habit of looking for the positive things about myself instead. I would start to look for all the things that I liked about myself. And that was pretty much step 1 for me. Because we've all been there, we've all been insecure, we've all hated how we looked at some point in our lives, and that's toxic. So what we need to do is change those toxic things into positive things. I also try to remind myself that I am so lucky to have a healthy, strong body. Things could be a lot worse. I may have a double chin, but I could be in a much worse situation physically. Number 2 being, whenever something bad happens or I'm upset about a certain situation, I have to stop and think about how I'm feeling instead of just being overwhelmed with emotion. Try to figure out ways that I can make the situation better for myself, or if there's anything else I could get out of the situation. So for example, I got fired a few times in my life. And instead of like tearing myself down for that and blaming myself, I try to look at the situation and be like, okay, what can I learn from this? Or what are things I can do differently next time to make sure this doesn't happen again? Was it even my fault? Most of the time, it's circumstantial. Some people get into that place where they like lose a job and they're like, I'm the worst person alive. I can't do anything. Nobody will ever hire me again. Not true. People will hire you again. And a lot of us are unemployed right now, so for most people, it's hard to find the positives in the situation. The next thing being, don't expect anything. I personally love to live without any expectations because that way you're never disappointed. But it is important to be prepared for the best and worst case scenario. And what I mean by that is like, because me and my beautiful dog are in a long distance relationship, every time I leave the house, I'm like, okay, best case scenario, I get to be home on time and safely. Of course, worst case scenario would be getting in an accident, but that kind of thing is kind of out of your control. So for me, there's no point in really worrying about it because if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. There's nothing that I can do except keep my wits about myself and be as safe as possible. Regardless though, I always keep the best case scenario in my mind. Hoping for the best, expecting the worst. The next little trick I use is staying present. I think I have a bit of a problem with this because I find that I'm almost too present in certain situations where I don't remember anything because I'm just like so in the moment that I'm like, for example, like right now I'm having a really hard time filming this video because I just want to cuddle my dog. Instead of like being sad that we're apart, I just take a second to bring my attention to the present moment and just embrace him. But I feel like bringing yourself to the present moment is a great way to appreciate what you have in the moment. bringing yourself to the moment is a great way to appreciate the moment. But it is. Another great way to stay grateful, to stay humble, is just treating others the way you want to be treated. And this is something that only people in hospitality, service industry, or retail may understand. And I feel like it's something that everybody should do once in their life. Once in their life, working in these industries, I just feel like I want to treat staff the way that I wish I had been treated at work some days, you know? That's another really great way to just stay level-headed. But the biggest way that I like to stay humble, stay grateful in my day-to-day life is just by saying thank you. Saying thank you is so important. The more often you say thank you, the more your mind and body are like triggered to be grateful for things. Say thank you to your barista who hands you your coffee. Say thank you to the random person that holds the door open for you. I'm sure most people do that, at least in Canada. Just say thank you. Any opportunity you have, say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. My real task for the day was to make these little bracelets, but as it turns out, I'm really bad at speaking on camera and doing something at the same time. So, $6 at Walmart. It has a pom-pom. It reminds me of the early 2000s, like early 2000s vibes, like Lizzie McGuire would totally rock a pair of these. A little exercise. For those of you who also can't gratitude journal like me, try focusing your attention onto a task, whether it's painting or making a video or actually just writing. Like if journaling works for you, congratulations. I'm a visual person and I need constant reminders, otherwise I lose track of everything. And so this is gonna be my little cute, great way to stay grateful this Thanksgiving. That's my visual cue for myself, is making these little bracelets to remind myself to be grateful for the things that I'm capable of, because I am capable of trusting myself and trusting in the universe, but I'm also capable of visualizing what I want and going after it. And that will inevitably lead me to growth, always, every single time. I'm gonna wear these little bracelets and use them as my personal reminder to stay grateful. I'd like to end this video by saying thank you for watching if you made it this far. I hope that you like and subscribe because I am constantly trying new things to make this channel work and grow, using my dog as clickbait. Thanks for coming.